I'm often asked, why hydrogen? Where does the power come from? It comes from that. That is a glass of water, H2O. Is split the H2 from O, and it's possible to do it in scale and around the world.
This is power. The power to move the earth. The power to change the world. This is JCB's hydrogen combustion engine at work. Welcome to the future.
Meeting the UK's ambitious goal of cutting net carbon emissions to zero by 2050 takes a lot of bold thinking, a lot of hard work, a lot of innovation, the kind of thing JCB has been delivering for over 75 years. 2 years ago, almost to the day, I set the challenge that we should be making hydrogen engines for the construction industry and for agriculture. 2 years later, we have hydrogen engines working in the kind of equipment that JCB makes, a solution that delivers power in the same way as conventional engines, but with none of the fossil fuels.
So where did it all begin?
Well, in the early days of the hydrogen story, we believed the only technology available to us was a fuel cell. So we got on, made a fuel cell prototype, 20-ton excavator. We started to understand the complex challenge of putting a fuel cell into a piece of construction equipment. Construction equipment machines need energy quickly, whereas fuel cells were maybe better suited to a more gentle environment. And we started to realize that maybe fuel cells weren't too good for response, were too complicated and too expensive for the market that they serve. We knew we at JCB could do better. The two machines we have on site are game-changing. Firstly, we've got a backhoe loader. Secondly, we've got a construction load haul. What we've done is we've taken our hydrogen combustion solution, we've incorporated it into both machines. We've then worked out how to remove the fossil fuel tank, replace that with hydrogen tanks, and now we've got both machines running. The same characteristics of speed, of loading, of digging, performing in the worksite.
So what's the secret? It's this.
This is not a conversion, this is brand new combustion technology. We've had to look at almost every facet of the engine and we've completely re-engineered it to run on hydrogen. It's a zero carbon fuel and it gives us a zero CO2 solution. We've kept the DNA of the engine. The components are familiar and common. The big difference is the fuel. We've gone to a zero CO2 hydrogen gas. We inject it into the engine. We've lowered the pressure, we've lowered the temperature, and that gives us a clean burn and a zero emission product. We've worked really hard on the performance characteristics of this engine. We've done that to make sure that we deliver exactly the same power and exactly the same torque as the diesel power plant that we've replaced.
But it's on refueling that the hydrogen combustion engine really comes into its own.
Most of our machines, 97% of them in fact, the fuel is delivered every day while the machine keeps working. So we've developed a fueling system, a hydrogen bowser, so we can take hydrogen from the tube trailer, decant it, and deliver that hydrogen fuel to the machines that are working on site.
JCB is the first in its industry with a hydrogen combustion engine solution. But what's needed now is a hydrogen fuel infrastructure, one capable of producing the quantities of hydrogen required to power the solution at scale, and transporting it to where it's needed. With investment, that infrastructure could then be adapted to produce the necessary quantities of hydrogen, preferably green hydrogen. enough to fuel our machinery and power other industries too. A practical solution to a global problem. In a world where energy security is now a top priority.
These are more than prototypes. These are fully fledged machines. Working right here, right now at JCB, we're proving daily that hydrogen does work, that it's a clean, renewable, transportable fuel, capable of storing and delivering the power our industry needs, quickly and efficiently, without the carbon. We're working towards a hydrogen future with zero emissions. Surely that's a great benefit for the world.
JCB, always looking for a better way.